Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on our webinar today entitled Improving Project Team Collaboration. It is really an overview of our ProjectEngine offering from EPM Live. My name is Jim Patterson, and I'll be presenting to you today. Just as an overview, ProjectEngine is a simple online project management tool that makes working together on projects much easier. ProjectEngine provides a central location for project teams to plan, to collaborate, and to track their projects. It really provides a good balance of scheduling options, project management best practices, collaboration tools, and reporting, but still provides a simple yet powerful solution. ProjectEngine is Microsoft SharePoint-based, but the ProjectEngine solution I'm going to show you today is strictly an online solution. The advantage of the SharePoint-based is if you're familiar with SharePoint, the conventions and the navigation and the learning curve will be very small for you. It also seamlessly integrates with other business productivity tools such as Microsoft Project, Outlook, and Excel for both inputs and for outputs. So with that, let's proceed. One of the things we found in our years of doing project management consulting and systems is that not everyone is at the same level of readiness or project management maturity. If you look at what the Gartner Group says about what percentages of companies are really at what levels of maturity, a single project management solution with a single level of rigor and sophistication may not meet the needs of all the people within your organization. So to that end, EPM Live really tries to provide solutions for the marketplace that can meet you where you're at and then help you grow in maturity through this process. So EPM Live has solutions at different tiers. If you look at this as a continuum, ProjectEngine really is our simplest web-based project collaboration tool. If you look on the left end of that continuation spectrum. We do go up through other tools like WorkEngine, which is really enterprise project and overall work management, and then really PortfolioEngine for strategic project and portfolio management. The reason I bring these up today, even though we're focusing on ProjectEngine, is the fact that it does compete with a lot of low-end, lightweight tools, I think, that are out there. The difference here is that you can start with a ProjectEngine today, for example, but you can actually move from ProjectEngine into a WorkEngine or a PortfolioEngine, meaning that you have a lot of headroom, a lot of room for growth. There's a lot of lightweight tools that you reach their maximum capacity very quickly and then have to choose another tool to meet the growing demands of your organization. Here, there is capabilities that will satisfy organizations for a long period of time, if not for good. So ProjectEngine itself is really an online workplace where teams, workgroups, and organizations can connect and collaborate on projects and the tasks within those projects. It really is meant to provide a project management vehicle for everyone. It's simple, it's cost-effective and convenient. It's very low risk, being that it's online, either free at some points or at a very low monthly cost. And you get fast time to value because it's pre-configured, pre-templated. You could actually get up and start managing projects from day one. And because of its SharePoint basis, it's going to be familiar and easy to use for a lot of people out there in the marketplace. So we really start with effective project management. We really offer online project management capabilities that allow you to do kind of the closed loop and the main three things you want to do in a project. We give you the ability to plan. We give you the ability to communicate that plan out to your team and other interested parties or stakeholders. And we also give you the ability to track and analyze that plan and then really maintain that closed loop process continually through your project to really achieve effective project management. And we do that through all the capabilities we provide for you within these ProjectEngine workspaces. We also give you the power of choice, meaning that a lot of tools that compete on this lighter weight end offer you a singular way in which you can get plans and schedules and tasks into your system. At its core, we have at least three that you can use. One is you can make simple task lists in SharePoint for those folks that don't want to do detailed scheduling but want to really capture the listing of tasks and actionable items within the solution. We also have an online planner that actually allows you to build very detailed project schedules, much like you would do, say, with a Microsoft project. All the basics of building a work breakdown structure, doing durations and starts and finishes and work estimates, resource assignments, dependencies of all types, and then being able to track those and put progress against those elements all within a browser-based scheduling tool. So for folks like me who are longtime Microsoft Project users, we also offer you the ability to use Microsoft Project and build your plans in Project and use our Project Publisher to actually have a bi-directional synchronized integration with ProjectEngine so that your schedules can then be viewed, updated, and consumed by your users right out in our SharePoint-based ProjectEngine solution, and actually have the updates they make out in that online environment come back and get presented to the project manager in Microsoft Project for application to the project plan electronically. So the idea here is you have a lot of choice on how you would actually build your work plans, your schedules, or your task lists. From a project collaboration perspective, we leverage at the core the SharePoint collaborative strengths as a platform that it has to be able to communicate and work with tasks in a browser, on a web page, discussion threads, issue logs, document libraries, full check-in, check-out, and workflow capabilities, ability to be able to communicate information via wikis and other things like that. So the key here is the project collaboration, the things beyond just the schedule and the tasks that you want to do in your project, we can all capture here within this solution and have your teammates be able to effectively collaborate and communicate with one another on their projects. From a project tracking and analytics perspective, we allow you to easily create dynamic charts in our tool using charting web parts that we provide and other things like that, but also leverage the power of things like Excel and Visio and Access in order to provide reports based upon the status of your projects. We capture a lot of rich data regarding the different dimensions of your project, and they're all accessible in our SQL database on the back end so that you can report on this stuff very flexibly using the tool sets that make the most sense or the ones you're most comfortable with within your organization. The key is to be able to get very up-to-date information on the tracking and the progress of your projects while it's in flight. So before we get started with the live software, just want to let you know that it's very easy just to create new projects in our solution. Very prominent in our solution is what we call a new project button, so that if you want to add a new project, if you select that button, it's going to give you access to a library of your templates. Now, the template could be the core template that we provide you out of the box, or there could be permutations of that get used, but the idea is that you select a template, you give the project a name, and it'll create a project workspace for you, provision that for you so that you can begin working with that right away. It has all the content in it that you're going to want to work with through the life cycle of your project. So fairly simple way to get a project into the mix. Now with that, I'll go over to the live software. So in this online solution, you would log in as any other user. You'd give a username and password. And I'm logged in as myself, Jim Patterson. And here I have my EPM Live homepage, where I have access to a number of different things. One is we have a lot of resources for users. We have a full knowledge base that has articles and blogs and documentation that help you work with ProjectEngine more effectively. We do have some video-based and online training that you can get to learn how to do certain things. We have forums where users participate and some online tutorials. We also make use of social media to distribute some of this information to our users as well. Also, depending on what package you've signed up for with us, the list of your projects that you have available to you are all readily available to you here. As you can see, I only have one here, my Patterson project. But the idea is that depending on the package you can have any number of projects available to you here within this solution. By the way, we also offer getting started videos so that it's very easy for customers for the first time and users for the first time to be able to come in and see how things are done, so they're not flying blind and trying to figure it out by trial and error. Now, if I go down to a particular project, I can select this project that's available to me here. I can now see this project workspace. And there's a lot of different dimensions of the project that I can work with here. For example, on this home page, I have a rendering of the status of the project, both from a schedule perspective and how we're doing on our issues, active tasks, overdue tasks, projected finish, and how complete we are in the project. We also have the ability to look at a snapshot, what's overdue or what's coming up from a task perspective, and be able to look at a glance without having to look at our whole schedule in order to figure out what those items are. We also have what's called an activity stream, that as people make changes to the elements within this project, you can see what the most recent updates people have made and who's made them to areas of the project to keep you up to date and in the loop as to what kind of activity is going on within your project. Things like announcements, reminders on upcoming tasks you have, and task counts on what's been completed or in progress and things like that from your schedule. Also, we have a top navigation here that gives you access to all the different features here within the toolset, which we'll go over one by one. If we have a My Work area, that would be a place where a user, who I am actually logged in as myself, can go where I can see all of the work that I've been assigned in one place. I don't have to go to multiple lists like for issues or tasks or whatever. And everything I've been assigned would be made available here to me. Not only can I open it up and edit it, but I could also simply just complete it by marking a checkbox here to complete the task, or put in things like % complete, other revised schedule dates, etc. I can also put comments on any item that's in here, so I can actually pretty much comment on any element that I create within the solution and communicate additional information rather than just whether or not I completed the task or I've made a certain amount of progress. From a task perspective, this is where we're talking about you could build a task list just from simple SharePoint task list information. So for example, you could just add simply a new item and create a task and build a list of tasks here very simply in this. If you're not really into building a detailed precedence-based schedule, for example, you can build a list of tasks here and have that be your schedule that you're working with, or the list of tasks that you're managing for the project. And they're all here and available for update, review, and statusing as we go on through. Also, as we go through here, there is going to be the ability in the tasks to work with our online work planner. So one of the things that we do is give you the ability to do a couple things. One is you can choose how you want to build your plan. Do you want it to be a SharePoint list? Do you want it to be a schedule built with our online work planner, as I mentioned? Or do you want to use, say, a Microsoft project? In this particular project, I chose to use the online work planner. So if I click on the Added Plan button, it will actually launch and render a web-based scheduler for me. And think about this as doing all the basics, the things that people do 90% of the time. So for example here, I can build a list of tasks. I could build a hierarchy by indenting and outdenting these tasks to whatever degree of a work breakdown structure I want to. I can put dependencies on here, which means I can have all dependency types available to me, all 4 dependency types with or without leads or lags. I can put in very easily things like my start dates and my finish dates. I could put in work estimates for the particular tasks. I can actually put cost estimates. I can assign resources, multiple resources per task. And I'll show you how we can build a project team very easily so that you can limit this to the pieces of your resource pool or your resource folks that you want to make available for any particular project. For example, if I click on a details button here, I can see all the details for any task and just click on the task, and it would just then go to that particular task without me having to open up a dialog or a different window for every different task I want to open. Also on different tasks, I can see what resources are assigned. I can see I have a singular resource there. Here I have multiple resources, and I can actually do very detailed, granular resource assignment. I can actually come in and here, because it's in shared mode, what it did is it actually took the 40 hours that I assigned here on the task and it divided it equally between Jim and Joe here on this particular task. But if I wanted to go to an individual resource level of granularity, I could simply go in here and maybe I could say I want Jim to do 10 of those hours. And maybe I would like Joe to do 30 of those hours. And then I can really granularly kind of gauge this, how I'd like to do those types of things, as well as manage things like my dependencies, my different dependency types, and whether I have lags on those. I can have notes on any element. I can have notes, very lengthy notes here available to me. So the idea of building a schedule, a dependency precedence-based schedule with resources assigned to it, and a work breakdown structure is something that's all included within this. And what's nice is as I make changes to a particular project plan, I can save the updates as I'm going through, But we have a concept here of a save and a publish, meaning as I'm a project manager, I'm not ready to, for prime time, I'm not ready to put this out to the masses yet. I can wait till the appropriate time and then publish these changes out to ProjectEngine so that now the team can now see the updates and now they can work with the updated schedule as I wanted to see fit. We also could have summary tasks and milestones and other things associated here. The idea here is that right included in the tool is this very functional scheduling tool for you. Now, if we wanted to, we could have used Microsoft Project to fill this schedule. So by bringing up Microsoft Project for a moment, we actually interject a tool in here called the Project Publisher, and it's an add-in into Microsoft Project. It allows us to take this very detailed schedule, and all the fields that Microsoft Project carries are available to be published out to that SharePoint workspace and be your schedule. Your team members could still work on those tasks and provide their updates on those tasks right out there in our SharePoint-based ProjectEngine toolset. But what's nice is when they make those changes out on the SharePoint side of the coin or on the ProjectEngine side of the coin, the ProjectEngine can come into their Microsoft Project Plan and say, let me check for updates on the progress. And it will go out and look into ProjectEngine, and it will actually come in and give me updates that have come in from my team. So here I can open up this task and I can see that Steve Masters has updated this % complete from a partial completion value up to 100%. And there could have been notes that Steve provided. I could actually query Steve with an email to get clarification if I wasn't sure or agreed with the update, etc. But the idea here is I get these updates and I can check them out, and when I want to put them into the project plan, into the Microsoft Project, I just say accept, and I say okay, and those updates and those changes then get applied to these tasks in Microsoft Project, and they get republished as updated tasks out to ProjectEngine. So out of the box, even with Microsoft Project, you have a closed loop process with the ProjectEngine solution. Now, other dimensions of the project that you might want to manage, things like managing all the issues. Instead of capturing issues logs off to the side, you can manage your log of issues right here. We can just simply create a new issue, or I can open an existing one where I can have comments and descriptions and resolution information. I can associate these issues with other types of issues or tasks, or I can give them relative priority. I can even assign people to them with due dates and even put effort estimates in here if I want to actually have this reflect the effort commitment that's going to be required by the resource that's resolved. That's assigned. So the idea here is that we have a lot of information we can capture here, and this is all templated and ready to go for you. And like any of our items here, you can attach documents or comments to these items as well. Things like discussion boards, being able to have topics for this project and be able to track a threaded ongoing discussion as you go on through is something that we leverage, which is a SharePoint capability, but we leverage it in a way that helps us manage our projects. Things like wikis, where people can actually go and create wikis, so from a web basis, communicate different thought streams, different ideas, and different knowledge to the rest of the teammates. We leverage a document library capability here where you can have as many documents as you want in your project workspace, and we have the full check-in, check-out capability, version history, so you can check out or look at different versions of the document or even move back to other versions of the documents. Different lists that you might put in here, but we have things like here, you might have announcements that you might want to make to the team. You might want to have a meeting schedule specific for this project, a contact list, a project team list, etc. Those are things that we all could possibly want to track with this. And these features are there for you out of the box, and you can leverage as much or as little of them as you see fit in the way that you want to manage your projects. Now, if I go back home here, before I built my project schedule, I might have a whole group of people that are available to me for certain projects. And I may have more than one project, but only a subset of those people may be team members on this particular project. What we do here is we offer a build team function. And this build team function allows you to select from a total resource pool on the right here. It looks like I've used most of my small resource pool here. But you can choose to select people and then move them over to the team. And so that way, when you're assigning resources to tasks or you're looking at who might have access to this workspace, et cetera, and this plan, you can then determine which of those people are available to this particular project on the team. So what happens, instead of perhaps dealing with a list of 100 resources here, you could just deal with a list of the 3 resources that are germane to this particular project. So something that we do with the build team capability. And when the project manager is actually building this team, they can actually choose right here which level of access they want to give to this person or this team member on this particular project. Also, we provide a library of a lot of out-of-the-box reports. So, for example, we have some out-of-the-box dashboards, roll-up listing reports, etc. So, for example, if I wanted to look at, say, a project status dashboard, we have a lot of dimensions of information available in here. And I don't have a lot of robust information in this particular project, but here, for example, I look at work status, how much work has been planned, how much remaining work and actual work has been actually accomplished on this project. I have cost information that's here from our charting web parts, which are available to you with the solution. We have issues and how they're tracking via priority. We have a listing of overdue issues and other things like that. The idea is we can get at a glance a very quick project report on this. Other roll-up reports, for example, where I might want to look at, say, let me see all issues on the project. I only have the one, I believe, but the idea here is I can look at completion counts out here. Actually, I got a couple, and I've actually got the idea here where I could look at a roster of all my issues and look at how we're doing on issue tracking. Are we gaining on issues? Are we opening issues faster than we're closing them? You know, are we making physical % complete progress on this, but the issues may be a worry for us? The idea is these are all available to you here. So all of these different listing reports, dashboarding reports, etc., are things that you can go through and actually leverage as you see fit. Right from a singular place, regardless, you don't have to be in a particular list or area of the solution. Let's just say I wanted to create a new item. I can go in here and just right on the fly say I want to create a new issue, a new project, a new task, a new discussion. Any of the elements that we have available here can be created from anywhere in the solution, from the top home page all the way down through this particular project workspace. Now I will say this, if I go back up to the home landing page, notice I only have one project in here. And one of the reasons I did this is this was done with what we would call a free account. You can actually get into ProjectEngine free for a singular project for as many users or team members as you want for that project at no charge. So you can come in, you can request a site and get one just like this at no charge. But if I wanted to make more than one project, for example, and I wanted to use this for multiple projects, notice if I go to create a new project here, what will happen is we do have paid subscriptions on these that allow you to do a lot more. So for example, you can get 25 project workspaces, and once again, unlimited users. We're not limiting the number of users. It's really based upon the number of projects you're going to be managing within the solution. And for a flat fee of $99 a month, you can manage 25 projects with unlimited users within the solution. And we also have an unlimited plan that for $249 a month, you can have unlimited projects and unlimited users. So the idea here is that you can use the level of usership, the number of projects that you want, but we can accommodate everybody that you want to participate in this project plan. So one, you can get in for free and do your first project with as many users as you want, and then you can step up to the different tiers of subscription that we have available here. So what I would like to recommend is that you really try us out. We talked about the different tool sets we have, from ProjectEngine up through WorkEngine for enterprise project management, up through Portfolio Management for strategic top-down planning. But if you go to our website at www.epmlive.com, you can just go in here and say go for the free sign-up, and you can get your first site as you go on through, and then you can start adding members to that particular project. And then remember, if it's a tool that you find that you are successful with and you like using, you can move up from this free product up through the Plus and the unlimited packages to get more projects available to you online. So with that, I think what we hopefully showed you today is that here's something that you can start out with free. It's easy to get started. provides collaborative, web-based project management capability in a lot of different areas with very flexible scheduling and tracking capabilities. And we hope you give us a try and join the many people who have already started with ProjectEngine and have found great success in working with a tool like this. I'd like to thank you for joining us this morning, and please come to our website, and there's vehicles there to ask us any questions or promote. I guess I didn't put a slide up here with my email information, but if you want to contact me directly, or better yet, you can call sales@epmlive.com or info@epmlive.com if you would like to ask any questions further, and we can route you properly. So anyway, hope you all have a great rest of your day, and thanks again for joining us.